Here's the realistic story of Russian elite forces Spets, as written without headings, in a cinematic and emotionally powerful style. It's crafted for voiceover or dramatic narration, no headings, just pure storytelling, perfect for a 10-minute video. The snow fell like silent ashes over the Caucasus Mountains, masking the cold breath of death beneath its beauty. A group of 6 men moved through the white stillness, faces painted, eyes frozen with intent. They wore no insignia, no name tags, only the Russian flag stitched on their sleeves, faded and silent. These were not ordinary soldiers, they were Spets, as Russia's ghost warriors. A week earlier, intelligence had whispered of a rebel outpost hidden deep in the mountains, armed with chemical agents stolen from a former Soviet bunker. The plan was cruel and simple: launch an attack on a civilian town to ignite chaos across the region. Moscow could not allow it. No tanks, no speeches, just 6 men with orders: erase the threat, disappear without a trace. Captain Dmitry Orlov led the unit. In his eyes lived the shadows of 2 wars, and in his silence echoed the screams of battles never reported. They called him Medved the Bear, but even bears grow tired. Still, orders were orders, and silence was sacred. At 03:00 hours they began their ascent. The air was thin, but the adrenaline was thicker. Every step was planned, every heartbeat disciplined. They did not speak, they did not rest. Only gestures and silent nods passed between them like signals from another world. By sunrise, they were within 2 kilometers of the target. Drones above, motion sensors below, mines buried like sleeping snakes. They split into pairs. Orlov and Petrov took the north ridge. Borya and Misha moved south through the gorge. 2 remained back, scanning, watching, ready to strike if things went wrong. Things always went wrong. The first kill was silent, a sentry too young to understand who he was guarding against. His body collapsed into the snow like a whisper. One by one, the outer guards vanished. But then a mistake, a crunch too loud, a breath too visible. An alarm was triggered. Sirens cut through the mountains like wolves howling. Gunfire erupted. Shadows danced between trees and stone. Bullets cracked and ricocheted. The rebels poured out, wild and disorganized, shouting orders in a mix of languages. The Spetsnaz unit remained calm, calm like death. They moved with precision, calculating angles, predicting panic. It wasn't a firefight, it was a hunt. Inside the compound, a steel door guarded the chemical agents. Booby, trapped, timed, but the real danger wasn't the gas. It was the device beneath it, a remote-triggered dispersal unit linked to a laptop protected by an armed mercenary with American tattoos and dead eyes. Orlov charged head on, no hesitation. 2 men collided like history clashing with chaos. Knives scraped bone, blood sprayed onto concrete. At the end, only one stood, but there was no time for glory. The laptop screen blinked. The timer had started. 7 minutes. They couldn't disarm it. Not here, not safely. The only chance was to carry it into the ravine, away from civilians, away from memory. Orlov didn't wait for volunteers. He grabbed the case, nodded once to his team, and vanished into the gorge below. His legs bled, his ribs screamed, but he kept running. One final breath, one final thought: better I burn than they breathe. The explosion tore through the sky like thunder swallowed by God. The valley went quiet. No words were spoken on the journey home. No songs, no medals, just silence. Back in Moscow, in a room with no windows, a file was closed. Operation Ghost Thunder status complete. Captain Orlov status unknown. Hero, perhaps, but heroes don't wear uniforms in stories like these. They wear snow. They wear silence, and they never come home.